So there are a lot of you out there who want to know how is it that you can find your career and your life path in astrology, like what you should do as a profession. And if you are a little bit familiar with astrology, you might have heard this 1,000 times, perhaps a gazillion times, that you have to look at your 10th house. You have to look at your 10th house lord, what planet is in the 10th house, what planet is aspecting the 10th house, and that will determine what kind of career you should go into. However, that is only 20% of the entire picture of determining what a person should do career-wise. Okay? The first important thing that you need to look at, first of all, is what is this person passionate about? What is this person obsessed about? What is their goal in life? What are they always thinking about? And those two things are looked at with two planets, Moon and Rahu. Rahu represents an obsession in a person. What are they obsessive about? What is it that they haven't achieved in this life and they're going to be achieving? And they're going to be wanting to achieve in this life. And Moon represents their mindset, like how they feel, how they think towards certain things. Not necessarily intelligence or calculation, which is Mercury, but Moon, which is their feeling. How are they? What is their personality like? Okay, so these are the two first main significators of career that you should look at, because Rahu will tell you what this person is obsessed about, what in the sign and house that it's placed in, which is the north node, and Moon will represent pretty much the same thing, but just more of a personality. What do they think like? How is their brain functioning? What is it that they can do out there through the capacity that this universe has given them? Okay. Next, okay, besides the 10th house that I talked about and these two scenarios, you want to look at the cluster of planets. Where are their cluster of planets situated? Are most of their planets in the north side of the chart, which is this house 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, or 12th, or they're on the west side of the chart, which is houses number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or they're in the cluster called 12, not the cluster called, but are they in the cluster of 12, 1, 2, 3? Okay, these, whenever you see clusters of planet at one spot, that will also tell you their career. So let's say if you have Mercury and Venus and Saturn in the 5th house, all three of them in the 5th house, then you have Jupiter sitting in the 3rd house, while you have Mars in the 10th house. Does that mean this person is going to be a police officer or army general or somebody who is, more of a very lead take charge type of person? No. This person most likely could be an actor, could be a writer, could be a poet, could be a teacher, could be a could be a singer, because Mercury and Venus and Saturn and Jupiter are all sitting in the house of communication, arts, theater, expressive expressions of writing, poetry. So these are the things you have to look at, like everything, and in an instant you will know. Now the next thing you're going to be looking at, which is another important aspect of astrology, is the divisionals charts. The divisional charts are very important because there's 16 main divisional charts in astrology, which surgically opens a house of astrology that you want to know about. So let's see, if you want to know about career, what is the main house of career? It's the 10th house. But 10th house is really, like I said, it's 20% of the game. 2nd house is also signifactor of career. That was something, that was your education of family values, of what life is about. Your parents, your aunts and uncles teach you things. Because of that teaching, you want to do certain things. So 2nd house also represents a career, because those are your lessons in life that you have. Those are your values. Okay, but if going back to divisional charts, so 10th house, when a good astrologer looks at a 10th house, what he does, he surgically opens that house, he opens it up, and he looks at it like, okay, what exactly is going on? So if just the basic birth chart is showing that this person should be in the medical field, okay, surgically opening that 10th house will pinpoint what exactly this person should do. Should they be a dentist, nurse, orthopedic? Should they be a surgeon? Should they be a heart surgeon? brain surgeon, what should they be? So this is why it's important to look at divisional chart. And this is why what you will not find in Western astrology, because this is what tells you, this is the clear evidence that Western astrology is a branch of Vedic astrology, because Vedic astrology, when it was created with all these methods, where the main astrology that you have come to know, the Western side, the Greek astrology, literally is using no more than 10% of the entire ingredients of real astrology. So in Vedic astrology, the divisional chart is called the Dasamsha chart. It's D10 chart. The D10 chart shows exactly what a person should be doing. And 10 out of 10, I saw this. Whatever was a person was to do in the birth chart, same thing was also in the D10 chart. However, it was more in detail. I was able to pinpoint, okay, this person wants to go into electronics. They love doing electronics. But when I looked at their Dasamsha chart, I'm like, they should really go into programming language, because their their Mercury and Ketu was really strongly placed in the Dasamsha chart, where it was kind of average in the birth chart. However, the interest of electronics came through that. So when I looked at the divisional chart, that's where I could clearly see, okay, this person should really go into programming language. And they're like, yeah, I want to learn this. I'm actually learning this. I'm getting kind of becoming passionate about it. I'm like, you know what, stick to it. So this is how you see, this is what career is defined by. This, you got to look at everything, all the mathematical calculation, all the divisional charts, the Narayani Bhautalith chart, the Dasha. There's something called Dashas. I'm sure all the people, all the Indian viewers out there probably know this. You want to know what Dasha is operating at that time. So if you have a Dasha of certain planet operating, while you want to do something else which is represented by other planet, it's probably not going to allow you. Because you should not always do one thing your entire life. You should not work for somebody else your entire life. Because at one point, your planet might say, you know what, it's time for you to do your own business. While you still keep working, and the planet is saying, look, I'm about to give you your wealth in business. No, just do what the planets are telling you at that particular time. So whether you want to do business or service is also represented by this planet. Okay? So like if you are meant to do business, your house 2, 5, 7, 10, and 11 should be strong. Or there should be a relationship between those houses. If you're going to do service, your house number 1, 3, 4, 6, 8, 7, not 7, 8, 6, and 10 should be prominent. Okay, so these are the kind of combinations. Like, it's not just one thing, pretty much. There's so many things that you have to know when determining somebody's career, that it becomes a very delicate situation, that if you're not doing it right, you can completely predict something wrong for somebody. Okay? And this is why only a certain few should predict somebody's future. Okay? Now, anyway, if you want to learn more about astrology, more about the in-depths of and the secrets of astrology, check out the link below. And that will hopefully enlighten you on what true astrology is. And subscribe above, because I'm going to be putting a lot more videos, a lot more creative things regarding astrology that I haven't seen on YouTube. So I'm working on them. It's coming. You know, it's just, this is the end of 2011, 2012. It's a brand new year. I'm going to be working on a lot of things. So look out for them.